course, bonobo monkeys are most like human. Bonobo monkeys, and we have chimpanzees and gorillas. Those evolved along with us, but they're not human beings. But many of the parallels, if you do the parallel with those category, the smaller bonobo monkeys are more like humans, and their brain and their movements and their thought process are more like humans. And chimpanzees are very intelligent. Chimpanzees can learn thousands of words and commands, and they behave in mostly like human beings. And that's it. These animals are very familiar to you. Um, Nothing strange about them. Chimpanzees and gorillas and bonobo monkeys, and that's it. And there's no other human-like species. Unfortunately, 40,000 years ago, Neanderthals, another human-like species, got extinct. There's a belief that we took care of them. We didn't want another species. We married their beautiful girls. But yes, we had marital license them, but then they got extinct. It's believed that they had too many diseases. Yeah, Denisovans, another one in Asia, another human species, they also got extinct. And so we don't have any similar animals close to us in an evolutionary pattern. No, we are not decreasing because especially the lab mice and lab rats, especially reared in labs in an industrial way. We don't just go and catch them from the wild so that the wild population is affected. We make them multiply in special industrial situation, just designated for experimental work. This is the same thing with the other animals too. We don't go, so none of the populations outside a lab is affected by doing them. And remember, we don't use many animals. We normally use lab mice, which are specifically made for experimentation. Yes, so there's no problem like that. Yes, no. So the population, we are not killing that many too. Comparatively, we are not. We didn't evolve from them. No, that's a big misconception. There's a belief that we evolved from monkeys. We took a different pathway. We had a single origin long ago, and we deviated from the gorillas, and they had their own life. They're evolving in their own way. And then there was another forefather, Homo erectus. They were the first one who stood up in some part of Africa, Homo erectus. And Homo erectus evolved into human being, the modern human being. So gorillas and chimpanzees, we did not evolve from them. That is a big misconception, because normally there's a picture indicating that other small animals, and then we become one of the monkeys, and then we become human beings. It's all over the world. That picture is misleading. We did not evolve from them, but from a common ancestor long ago. And some of the common ancestors started standing up. That's Homo erectus. And their brain started developing in a different way. So gorillas and chimpanzees had their own life separately. We didn't evolve from them, but from a common ancestor. So they are having their own life. We went in our own way. It could be, yes. I didn't elaborate on food habits. Our own problem also is we screwed up ourselves a lot by altering the food. Yeah, our food pattern is mainly the processed food is one of the major causes of cancer too. Yes, dogs are domesticated. All right, dogs are recently evolved. What we made them to evolve from fox, bred fox. And yes, they're highly domesticated, and Most of the time we don't let them run around. They're animals, they're supposed to run around. And suppose you are in a flat or an apartment, they don't even get a chance. Only they get a chance to walk with you if you took them to walk. That's not animal nature. So of course they do get cancer a lot now. That is domestication. The processed food. Look at the dog food. They come in cans or in boxes or in plastic. That's the only thing they eat. That's the only thing. They never get raw meat. That's their food, though. Yes. Yes, there are trials. There are some kind of success in that. There was a story recently that some animal had been recreated, but later it was found that that's not true. We didn't do that. And there are some attempts going on because we can get the DNA from the fossils and we can reactivate. Yes, and it's far away technologically on a technological basis. It's far away, but that is possible, and one way it is good. But uh, I think all of us have seen a Jurassic Park. A tyranno, a dinosaur has been brought back to life. Many of the dinosaurs being brought back to life from the fossils. Yes, that is dangerous. And then there are, it's a story also in the movie has the same story how they can be dangerous. Yes, that is the moral of the story in those dinosaur movies. Yes, but it is possible, and one way it is good, but it's an it has a lot of ethical questions. Suppose we bring back Neanderthal man, Neanderthal humans. That's not. We don't know how they will react to modern world because they never evolved to face the modern world. So it will be totally out of place for them. Is it good? And then there are ethical issues. What should we do with them? Yes. So technology is telling us that it is possible, but uh, ethical thinking should be done in a deeper way and answer that and take care of it. Just like cloning human beings, there was an attempt to clone, and they cloned it in China. They cloned the two babies, human babies. And it has been stopped, completely stopped all over the world. You cannot clone. Yes. So there are ethical questions in such kind of situations. Okay, that's a good question because evolution does not have a motto. Evolution just happens. Evolution just happens. Our brain, for some reason, started evolving, and we also helped it to evolve. Now we can do vector calculus. Like 500 years ago, our brain could not do vector calculus. Now we can calculate. Now we can send people to the space, to other planets and others. Our brain, for some reason, we cannot. That is a riddle of evolution. You never ask why so. Evolution just happened. And you should ask why the naked mole developed all those genes to prevent cancer. Why did whales and elephants develop all those situations to prevent cancer? Why didn't it happen to us? Why did our brain evolve? But look at poor us. We didn't evolve in that way, and the elephants are laughing at us. The elephants are laughing. Elephants are like, hey, we know that you have a better brain, but look at you are dying of cancer. The whales, naked mole rats, all are laughing at you. You and your brain are well and good, but look at you. So we cannot. So if you ask the same question and then the answer is, why do we get cancer? The same question. Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's not just Burma. It is done recently in many places. The pig heart is being used. There was in Washington D.C. near Washington D.C. There was the patient survived for months with a pig heart, and now there are special genetically altered pig hearts which will not be rejected being used. Yes, yes, pig hearts being used, and that also that's a question of ethics. There's a question of ethics there. But the thing is that now, with is 3D printing, you can even print a kidney. You can even 3D print a heart. Yes, and you can use that for um, transplanting. Yes, you don't take it from an animal. It's possible. And like the question asked by Sri Kumar, uh, yes, the brain, our brain has evolved, and then we can devise such kind of stuff. We need not kill an animal, or we can do it by 3D printing. So we have like 1 over the nature that is kind of happens. That's what is happening. Yes. So the animal organs, yes, the animals' organ parts have been used for a long time. Not only now, even from our great epics, we have transplantations happening. Yes, the famous Ganapati story. Yeah, the head being transplanted. So it's a matter of convenience. Yes, if gods can do on those days, does it ratify that we can do that? Yeah, but since we can make artificial organs, it's a good choice. Yes, because the question will come to us and we will say yes if it is happening to our dear ones, if it is your spouse, your parents, your children, and the doctor is asking, hey, there is an artificial heart available, or there is a heart available from a pig. Do you want transplant in your son or your daughter? You may say yes because you are desperate for that dear relative to survive. So it's an ethical question. Yes, there are ethics. Is a big deal in modern science. Yes. Biomimicry, yes. You can inculcate to look into animals. Yes. And then think about it. Yeah, the students should read all this literature in detail and develop their own thinking. And they should ask themselves, is this the way the world should go? What can we benefit? And especially, again, the questions many of us asked, what about the ethics of it? Yes, yes. Biomimicry and lessons from animals. It's so valid, so dear to us, as we discussed today. It is biomimicry, or you call in different names. Yes, it is expanding. It's an expanding field, and the horizon is very vast and open, and there are a lot of possibilities. And when it comes to survival, these are matter of concerns. So students should get into this and get more knowledge on these kind of issues, for sure. Yes. As I said, they don't kill their own species. We do. And it's very difficult because we work by emotions. Yes. We think we are very intelligent. And we have a lot of such things. We have a lot of negative things which came with us for evolution. It's very difficult to get rid of them. Yeah, how to prevent war? Your brain thinking, those who being in war. The brain thinking should be different. There and these days, the war or the fights used to be for resources. When we were earlier, just for resources. And now we did not fight for resources. Plenty available, and the distribution all over the world is very kind of easy now. Transportation is easy. Resources, we need not make wars for resources, but we still do that. We think this land is ours. The other land also is ours. And there's no need to fight for resources, but we still think that we are in the clannish stage where we have to fight for resources. And the wars are now is not for not for resources. We have resources. Each country can get it through. Some of the poor country can get help from other countries. So we need not fight for resources, but who is to tell them? The warlords have screwed up mind, and who can tell them? And the political system also favors this. And we are not thinking right. That's it. We are not thinking right. And that's the question you can ask yourself. I don't have an answer. Why do we do it? Ask yourself, why do we do the wars? It's not. For evolution, it's not needed. For survival, it is not needed. For thriving, it's not needed. Wars are not needed. But why are we doing? That is how the human mind works. And we can easily change it if we need.